So we have started recording, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome, 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 welcome to a very special edition of Tripping Through the Stars, an Angry Eagle Publishing joint. Man, I'm so excited right now. All right, so I met someone a long time ago, at least a long time ago. Met them at a meet and greet with the late great Gavin Bonds. And granted, our meeting, it was in passing. We just kind of glanced across each other. We met, said hi, whatever. And now, not only is that woman sitting right there in front of me as a co host on a show that came to be because of Jav and his weirdnesses, but she wrote a book, like an actual book, like a book, like with words and stuff. And when I first met her, did Jeannie, since we know what you were talking about, did you have a book back then?
No,
No book, nothing,
no
none,
book. No,
none,
well, I had a bunch of books, but they weren't mine.
no. Yeah, and now, as everybody can
There it
see,
is.
it's right there. Well, as you guys have known over the past few years, I've had this thing about where I do hangings of authors. I like to hang my authors. And this this one right here felt so special to me because of the fact that, dude, this is her first book. Like, I was excited about getting a stupid short story in a magazine and get a full length book. So it's with great pride and pleasure I hang Jenny Frederick Lewis, my dear. Welcome to the wall.
Yeah, made the wall.
All right, guys, this week we're going to keep this thing loose. We're going to just talk sci fi. We're going to try to have us some fun. And so I was like, man, who could I bring in? Who could I bring into this thing? I literally went to my Rolodex, and up there, right there, you'll find Cal Brett. This guy has got a couple books out now, and God, that cover just still freaks me the fuck out. But that's Worse Than Dead hanging out up there, and it's just gnarly to look at. So we're gonna get together. We're gonna talk sci-fi, but we're also gonna talk about some cow. No teeth. Ignore me. But we're gonna have some fun here today. So I want to start out in the most obvious, straightforward place, just so we can absolutely get it out of the way. Star Wars, Star Trek, ladies first.
Oh, I might get kicked out if I answer that one. I'm gonna say Star Trek, not Star Wars.
Okay, why? What is it that makes Star Trek better for you?
Um, I don't know. I always related to Star Trek, but I mean, my fondest memories is getting off of work when I was a young adult, and you didn't do anything. You were watching Star Trek, so it was like, don't interrupt. This is serious business, and it was always like that. Star Wars never pulled me in like that.
Okay, our favorite Star Trek episode, because I've got mine.
Oh, oh man, I don't know. There were so many of them. I will. I don't know. I have to think on it. Come back.
All right, for me, it's a split between the Trouble with Tribbles. I love the Tribbles. The Tribbles are the greatest, and Devil in the Dark. The big scab looking thing that Spock talked to, where he got into the pain, and he those those right there, they got to me. What about you, Cal? Man, what are you? Star Trek, Star Wars?
Well, it's to me it's a trick question because they're really two different things. I'm a huge fan of the original series, the Star Trek original series. I think honestly they have not done it better than that since then. The Trek folks, and that those shows I grew up on, and they were part of what made me a fan of horror and science fiction, and this whole genre. So it's hard to say. To me, again, they're two totally different things. And then Star Wars was kind of the Beatles of my generation. I grew up on Star Trek and all those 60s and early 70s science fiction shows and movies, and then Star Wars came out in 77 and changed everything. So to me, it's really two different types of things. The original Star Trek kind of represents the age that it was created in and it came out in, and Star Wars like started a whole new thing, and just sort of exploded with at the time what were amazing special effects, and kind of a return to the action adventure of the old Flash Gordon days, and also reflected the times of the 1970s, where you had a stronger female character amongst all of these other the science fiction characters with a great story. So I can't pick. It's two different things. My favorite episode of, you go back to the original Star Trek, my favorite episode is, I can't remember what it was called, but it was the ones written by Harlan Ellison. I think it was The Menagerie, if I'm right. If I may be wrong, you might correct me on that.
Well, damn, that was in depth. That hit me in the heart. That made me feel good. And sorry I ran away there. I had a peach cobbler to pull out of the oven before I burnt the damn thing.
That's the priority. You got to get the peach cobbler out.
We got that done, so we're good there. Now, the next thing I want to know, if you were to write a science fiction, because as far as I know, neither of you ever have. You haven't delved into that yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if you did, would you want to go like world building, like create an entire universe or a society? Or would you prefer to stick to an earthbound exploratory style story? These first.
I think that I would want to go out into the universe. I don't think I would want it to be Earth. I would want to really stretch the imagination as far as I could. I think that would be more fun.
Okay, all right, Cal.
I think she's right. You have to, one of the aspects of science fiction I think that works so well is that you have to be exploring the universe. You have to have robots and aliens in there, and not that you can't do that with a more earthbound story, but I think it works better when you're out, in the universe, and the rules are totally different, and you're facing things that are completely different than what we have here on Earth.
Well, now with AI becoming such a big thing, like it's becoming smart. We're getting really damn close to Terminator level.
Right.
How would you guys incorporate AI into your stories? Because it's a thing. There's no getting around it. And this time I'm going to reverse it. Cal goes first.
It's funny. As I was just thinking about this yesterday, the repercussions or the changes to come with AI are almost impossible for us to even comprehend, because it's going to make calculations and make changes and make decisions and offer ideas that we can't even, pulling together data at the meta level that we can't, and the micro level that we can't even fathom at this point. So 10 years from now is going to be, even within 10 years, there's going to be a huge technological shift in the world because of AI, that is going to both make things easier in a lot of ways, but change things, dramatically in a lot of ways. A lot of jobs are going away. A lot of jobs are changing. So it's going to be an interesting time. The next, our kids and grandkids are going to be living in interesting transitional times, because AI is going to be taking over functions that we can't even imagine. offering solutions to things that we can't even imagine. People were very worried about AI, and they, first thing you do is talk about Skynet and Terminator and all that stuff, and that that certainly is something to be concerned about. But I think the other side of it is there are some huge advantages to having systems that can do, say, mass farming, and that sort of thing, and can go out, get back to science fiction, can act as thinking space probes, and get out into the universe and exploring and making decisions and determining what's important and what's not. So it's going to be fun, interesting, challenging, changing times coming up with AI.
All right, well, so at a base level, you're writing a sci-fi story. What is your AI system based around?
Yeah.
What's its primary function?
I kind of go back to the Isaac Asimov thing with robots. The first function of it has to be to preserve human life, and then the secondary step there, maybe beyond that, is to assist in making decisions about how you want to explore, what you want to do, what's the places to go. If you think about, as human beings, we are in our heads trying to figure out, based on all the information we have, where we're going to explore next. Well, AI will be able to put all that data together, the billions and billions of bits of data together, and say, this is probably the place you want to go to that's going to have the most chance of either life or riches or whatever it is that you might be looking for. AI will be able to tell you exactly how to do that, or where it's most likely to be, and probably the best way to get there.
Sweet. All right. I'm coming to you, lady. How are you going to use AI in your sci-fi?
Well, first of all, I'm really glad that I'm old, because once we get to this AI thing, I'm probably going to be too ignorant to know what the hell's going on, and I'll have to ask the younger generation anyway. But if I were going to do something, I would probably go in a little weirder version and make it more like My Perfect Boyfriend is AI. And he does everything I want. And he's just peachy keen, and he plans everything and tells me what I'm thinking and what I'm not thinking. And oh yeah, I'd roll with that.
We're not far from that. That's almost, we're almost there, at least in the intellectual form of it. I don't know if they figured out the robot physical form of it, but they were almost there as far as the the intellectual side of it.
Oh my God! If you can create me the
I always
perfect woman, oh, I was gonna say, if you can create me the perfect woman, I will show
You
you
never
the
have to
perfect
leave
man.
your room.
Because there ain't no way nobody figuring out. Ain't happening. Ain't no way. I don't care.
Yeah.
AI, NI,
Come on now.
ain't happening.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move this thing a little bit further down the road. Now, we all have our favorites, things we love infinitely. We will never let go. We will never let them go. Period. What is your favorite sci-fi? I'm going to start with movie because I'm going to go TV show next. So get ready for that. What is your favorite sci-fi movie of all time? And we'll start with Cal.
Again, a very difficult question, because I kind of tend to put these things into the context of the times that they came out. Well, the quick and easy question answer.
Now I'm gonna never, because I look at it like you just kind of dump them all in a bucket,
Yeah,
and go, which one floats to the top? Which one is the one that beats all of them?
Well, I was going to say, about the quick and easy question, the sci-fi movie that I can probably watch over and over again the most is Aliens.
Oh, nice.
So that's my go-to. But then you think of all of the wonderful, great movies that led up to that, and there's a lot of great choices to come that take you there and beyond.
Yep, that is true. And I mean, and the key thing in that is that it's about an emotional connection. You get connected to these things. I mean, you fall in love with these things, and not everybody loves the same things, so it gets different. Which is why, Jeannie, what is yours?
Well, who could not love Ripley? I mean, thank you. You know,
So now you
I
done
the other thing
Alien
I thought of
one.
the one of the reasons I love Aliens so much is because I spent 22 years in the Navy, and it struck me even at the time that when it came out in the mid 80s, it really did hit the military note right. You know, it's one of the few the Hollywood has a hard time getting the military right, and I thought they got the Space Marines perfect in that.
They were dead on. So now, Jeannie, are you talking Alien 1, Alien 2, or you just in general? Alien is the greatest
I
series
liked them
brought on?
all, honestly, but normally the first one is always the best one to me, most of the time.
Okay, that's a
Yeah.
debate for a different day. We're going to move on because next question I got for you, this one may be tough. We'll see. The worst sci-fi movie, TV show, anything you've ever experienced. What is it? Throw names. I don't care. Hurt feelings. Blast.
Mm.
Well, obviously, Plan 9 from Outer Space has to be on the somewhere near the top of the list. Although, you know, that is so bad that it's a great movie. You know, it's so bad that it's good. Um, uh, there are plenty of other ones out there that were just bad. That's one of the beauties, and I think why sci-fi has such a fan base is that even when it's bad, you enjoy it. You know, you love sitting there doing the CE3K, or what is the Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing, and talking back to the screen and yelling how stupid everybody is in the movie. So those are all fun things to do.
Hey, stay off of Sharknado, by the way. That's one of the
I was
greatest freaking things ever made.
I
Those
don't know,
are immaculate.
the zombie one was pretty bad. The zombie
Oh,
Zombie
tidal wave or
Tsunami.
whatever.
Zombie
Yep, the
Beach or
Zombie
something. Yeah.
Tsunami.
Yes, it was
Yeah, that one was
bad.
pretty rough. That was pretty rough. But no, all the Sharknado movies and the follow up Tarantula movies. Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs up. Loved them, loved them.
Right. Those are all fun movies to watch. Even it's like sometimes the really bad ones are even more fun to watch. I like to even watch some of, like, Netflix has all these sort of, if you dig down into their catalog, they have these like direct to video movies that are fairly recently made, but they're all just terrible. But they're fun to watch. They're fun little stories.
Oh yeah, all the giant alligators and the giant
Yeah,
sharks that are walking on land. All that stuff
yeah.
is so much fun.
All right, well,
I
moving
was
on.
watching one recently. I was watching a zombie one recently, and it's obvious that they shot it and they did a bunch of CGI in the background in a lot of it, but they shot it and they left a lot of the backgrounds open, so you can actually, they're supposed to be in this abandoned uh apocalyptic city, and you can see people walking by in the background. Down the street there's cars going by.
Damn, I guess that's actually worse than the Ghost of Sherwood Forest, which I consider to be the worst zombie movie ever made of all time, and I will stand on that hill and I will die on that hill. That's the worst zombie movie ever made.
I've
It
never
is.
seen that one, so I'll have to look it up now.
Oh, dude, Tom Savini is in it. He
Really?
does a cameo in it. Like, he
Oh.
does show up. It's the dumbest damn movie ever. It's like Robin Hood, but then they become zombies.
Oh my gosh.
What the?
Yeah, but not to change the subject too much to zombies, but my what was the Bill Murray movie recently, the zombie movie that
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought
Oh, it was
was
good. Not
Zombieland.
dead yet.
Zombieland.
Not
not Zombieland,
no, not
the
dead
one with
yet
Bill Murray
or
that,
something.
and what's his name from Star Wars? Oh gosh, what was it called?
Oh, yes, yes,
I,
yes,
The Dead Don't Die.
dead
To me
don't
yeah.
die.
that is the worst zombie film of the recent age.
I
Really?
don't know
I
though. I
haven't
Yeah.
seen
enjoyed
it.
it.
Did you? Okay, well,
I don't
just,
know.
I
Okay,
With
just,
his,
no. Well, that brings up the obvious question of, okay, why did you enjoy it? What did you like about it?
because it was so stupid, it was funny.
I
Okay,
see. I thought it started off great. The first half of it was great, and then it was like halfway through the movie they said, "Oh, never mind. Let's not do this. Let's do something totally different," and they just kind of made it up from there. So I kind of, but I can see where the absurdity of it could be entertaining.
Yeah.
well, see, that makes that movie worth watching for me because I'm getting that 50-50. Like, go judge it for yourself. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So, we're
yeah,
going to say right now, here today, go check that movie out. But getting
yeah,
back to sci fi,
yeah.
let me ask you something. Laser guns in space where there's no air, there's no oxygen, opinions, starting with Jenny.
Well, I mean, I don't see how laser guns would really go over very good at all. But that's the big part of sci-fi is using your imagination and believing that it will. So that's what I would have to say. Probably not. I think they'd do better with paintballs.
All right, Cal.
I think Jenny's right, and but the reason we watch sci-fi is to have some suspension of disbelief, and so much of that stuff is scientifically it is ridiculous, but it's entertaining, and it works. It pushes the story along, and we believe it because it works with the story. So even if it scientifically isn't right, I like to watch Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about science fiction movies and point out the things that are impossible. But it's fun anyway.
I mean, because, yeah, you think about it, you see ships explode in space, and yet they would actually implode in space, but
Right.
it's the fun of the boom. You got to have the boom, man. If you don't have the
Right.
boom, then you totally miss
Yeah.
the whole thing, dude.
Yeah.
So,
I read a while back about there was a when they were shooting the Empire Strikes Back, or no, which is the last one where the Death Star explodes again, and they were gonna try to make it as like it would have been in space, but the special effects crew did the shot, and it just looked stupid. It didn't look. It was not nearly as dramatic as the big explosion. So they went back to the big explosion and said, "Oh, we'll the audience will appreciate this more."
see, that's what I love about creativity. And it's also what I hate about cancel. People getting too specific, too freaking locked into an idea. Let people dream. Let people's minds create, which is what
Right.
these two people right here, my co host, our guest, my awesome friend, let us do what we do and make your brain go to a whole different place than it used to go to. Get out of being rigid, loosen up, have fun.
Right.
That's what it's
Right.
all
Think
about.
think creatively. Yeah.
Exactly. Now,
Right.
on the thinking creatively, if I stuck a Ouija board in front of you and said, write me a horror story, what would you come up with? We're going to
A,
start with Cal again this
a story about a Ouija board, or a story where I have to write it on the Ouija
time. Both. Both. You got to write it
Yeah.
on the Ouija board about a Ouija
board? Gosh, I don't know. There, the great thing about those sorts of things is it's so, so much of that is in the head. So much of that is mysterious. It could be anything. It could be about connecting with the dead. It can be about connecting with things from other dimensions. It can be connecting with ghosts, God, the demons. There's all sorts of directions you can go in that, and I don't know.
I love
I don't know what
asking
I would
the
do with that
hard
right off
questions.
the top.
I just love doing that.
I think it would be kind of cool though, if the Ouija board just all of a sudden sucked that person right into it
Ooh,
and then
Right.
go with that. Find
There
them
you
in
go.
another universe or another whatever you want.
There you
You
go.
could go
I'm
anywhere.
I
Yeah.
think we just found your next story. So have fun with
Actually,
that.
I'm thinking about writing a short story about a killer shrimp, but I haven't got there yet.
Are you
Killer shrimp.
following
Well, yeah,
Angel Ramon right now at this point? Like, frogs and
no,
lizards and every damn
but
thing.
yeah, we have the shrimp business here, so it's got to be a killer shrimp. I mean, what else could it be?
That is true. That is true. All right, trying to get us back to the sci-fi thing because man, I'm just having fun hanging out with y'all. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. One thing I got hung up with sci-fi is this the teleportation thing. They they put it in there, but they don't really explain it. Like, how are you really breaking my body apart and then sending me somewhere else and then planting me in a specific spot? And the reason I say that is I had a Star Trek Choose Your Fate book, and I accidentally took the wrong fate, and I wound up where I was buried to where just the top of my head was showing out of the ground, and I was dead. Like I was done. So, how would you, as a writer, explain teleportation, genie, go?
That's a hard one.
I know.
Well, again, there's multiple ways you could approach it. You could say, well, they figured out how to open up a wormhole, and you are able to step through the threads of time and space, and go from one place to another. You could say they kind of take all of your essence and your particles and fax them from one place to another, kind of electronically. Or you could the more, I guess, the most recent scientific analysis is that you would have to be basically disintegrated at one place and then reassembled by AI at the other place. So
See,
you would
that's
you
what
would
I think it is.
you cease to
Blah, they
exist
blow
every
you
time you
apart.
do it.
And I worry that every time they send me somewhere, I'm going to lose a piece. And
Yeah,
before I know it, I'm a completely different freaking thing.
right,
You know,
right.
piece.
Well, but we might get better. They might add pieces
That's
too.
that's true. Yeah.
Oh, well,
Make sure you're fit and healthy every time you land someplace.
hey, look, as a guy, I'm automatically looking down to check. You had a piece there? No, not yet. Anyway, so let me ask you this. You guys, we love our aliens. We all do. But we also all have our favorites. What is your favorite alien?
uh, I think I get to go back to Giger's Alien from Alien as probably the best.
That drool, that one scene where it leans in and it's up in her face and
Right.
it's,
Right. Now the Predator's a
oh,
pretty good one too. I like those. And
that one's
you know,
mine. That was mine because when he
it's
and he just goes
Oh, yeah,
full.
definitely.
Oh, it's just cold, man. Because I'm sorry, I love the black and whites back in the day. I do. But you can't beat those two particularly. Now, Jenny, we haven't let you go, so go.
Well,
Because I've
yeah, but
already,
that's not fair. Well, I'll just say that I like both of them because there's a movie with both of them. So
yeah, there
true,
is.
true.
True enough. But now you're saying that, yeah, those are the two best aliens you've ever seen.
I
I
really think so.
Yeah,
On my end, yeah.
I mean, the little gray men, the big eyes, the different
Just
versions
can't
throughout the
see him.
years. Nothing.
yeah.
No, deep.
Those
No.
are okay. They're a little boring though.
They are when you really think back on it. When you go back and
Yeah.
look at the old stuff, the new aliens are fantastic. But you know what we also skipped on there though was like the oh god, my brain just froze up. The one where you don't really see the aliens until the end, and they kind of come creeping through. Or
Mhm.
Orson Welles aliens.
They're like, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, those are good,
War of the
but
Worlds.
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
and yet they are boring.
they really were.
I
Well,
There
mean,
was a giant worm.
a lot of those, they don't show them because not seeing them is scarier than seeing them. Once you see
Exactly.
them, you can start to kind of put your head around it, and you're not so afraid of it. But those things, as long as you don't know where they are, that's a little more scary than being able to see them.
yeah, truth, because I would seriously run out and put one of Orson Welles' aliens in a headlock and just get your ass
Yeah,
down. Like I wouldn't be
yeah,
scared of them at all. But now you throw me one of the Ridley Scotts, one of the Predators out there at me. Oh no, my
yeah.
ass is hiding under
Mhm.
fucking Jenny over here. I'm like, nope, heck me.
Get her first, huh?
I
Right.
ain't playing. I ain't messing with that. I got a Tui dog going crazy. Hang on, close the door.
So what about up to date aliens like in TV shows now? I mean, I like Resident Alien. I think that's kind of funny. I
Yeah,
like
that's
that
a great
show.
show. Yeah,
I
that's a
need to
really good
check
show.
that out. I have seen that, but I haven't checked that out yet.
Yeah,
Oh my god, it is really good.
I
it
like
is.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, now
It,
what are your selling points on it? Break me in.
Jenny, you want to take
Well,
that one?
he's okay. He's a doctor, and nobody can see him except a certain couple of people, mostly children. And he goes in and takes over this doctor's life, and now they have him kind of intermingling with the whole community and involved. And but it's a comedy, so it's really funny. I
Okay,
think you would probably like watching it because he comes up with some really silly things.
okay. So Cal, you
Yeah.
agree?
I agree. As you said, it's this sort of small town, kind of like a Northern Exposure style small town in the Northeast somewhere, I think, or Northwest somewhere. And you've got your sort of cast of characters, and then gets into various situations every week, and it's a good comedy. I like it.
Okay, cool. Cool. Well, there's a brand new show for everybody to go check out. The Resident Alien.
Mhm.
Let's get
There
that
you
going.
go.
Well,
Well,
and Sarah Connor's in it.
Oh, right,
what?
that's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then, hell, then I'm definitely more interested. Now, holy crap! All right, let's see. I had a couple of things I want to get to, but I think I want to focus more on weapons. What are your favorite sci-fi legendary weapons? Like who wielded them? The item itself, it carried it. I already know mine. I'm not gonna give it yet, but I already know mine.
Right.
Mm.
Uh,
Let's go either one of you. I don't
well, for me, there's the top two are the phaser from Star Trek, the original Star Trek, and then of course the lightsaber from Star Wars. Those are the two most original, most creative weapons that I can. Everything else seems to have been copied from that. That's gone from there.
care. All right, Jenny, Jeannie.
Yeah, I had to say he's probably right, but um, I don't know. When I think of weapons, I keep thinking of Winona Earp, and I don't know why that keeps popping into my head, but she
Hey,
just
there ain't
popped
nothing
into
wrong with
my
it.
head.
Ain't nothing
But
wrong with it.
yeah, I'd say I'd probably more like more traditional ones than all the you know lasers.
Well, for me, and I'm so disappointed in the two of you, it's Han Solo's fucking blaster.
Oh,
But that's
Come
that's that's
on,
just
man.
that's a derivative of the phaser, though. It's just a more
yeah,
modern version of the phaser.
Yeah,
And
but
the
he
same
had
thing
a
with the Sandmen in um what was the movie, the runners, the Logan's Run.
Yeah, but he
They
had
all,
something resembling a scope on his.
that's true. It is a cool weapon. It is a cool pistol. Yes, it is. Absolutely.
I don't even know how to
Yeah.
deal with these
And,
people.
and Chewie's got the like crossbow thing, which is pretty cool as well.
And that's dope. Yes, thank you. I didn't even think of that. Holy crap! Now I feel inferior. Oh, gee.
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are so many cool weapons out there and things that people have done with the whole sci-fi genre. Um,
Hmm.
is there anything missing that you guys could come up with with your creative mind that you would like to see added, just totally made up, completely out of nowhere, has never existed, no one's ever wrote it, that you would like to add to the sci-fi or even horror universe? And I
Uh,
just froze both of you. I'm gonna kick
no,
back.
well, I was going to say I've written some sci-fi stories, and I've got some other things that I've been working on. So I don't want to say because I don't want to give it away.
Come
Uh-huh.
on, you can give us
See,
a damn weapon, right?
I wrote back in the this is many years ago, but I wrote a treatment for a TV show where they had harnessed tachyons as a method for propelling through space ahead of faster than light. So that was something I used a while back that I've always kind of had in the back of my head that I need to use somewhere else because it's really kind of a cool idea.
I like it. What about you, Jenny? Jeannie?
well, mine really isn't supernatural. It's more horror, but it's what I'm working on right now. It is. I don't know if people have ever noticed this or not, but my weird brain has. Paneling inside of houses have like fake knots and stuff on them.
Oh yeah,
Well, when I was little, I had paneling in my room, and the knot looked like the devil to me. It scared the dickens
yeah.
out of me. And so I'm kind of went with that theory of the lady in the paneling. She's going to come out of the paneling kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
So
that's a
that's
great one.
something that I
Yeah,
don't think has ever been done. And
yeah. I think anybody who's ever lived in a house with paneling could identify with that. You got a
Dude,
good market there, Jim.
I
yeah,
did too. I've actually got an old picture of me with my grandpa sitting in front of a paneled wall. And it's like, yeah, dude, that would be freaking cool as hell. Like,
uh-huh.
yeah, a living thing inside the panel. Wow. Okay. Well, let's carry this little party on a little bit further then, shall we? And we're going to do it in the most unexpected way. Jeannie, you're my co host. I need you to throw a question at our guest.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well, I would. Okay.
I
I hate when you do this to me, Jack.
know. So I do it.
I know you always getting me. Well, I did read book number one of yours, and I
Oh,
didn't
thank you.
get to book number two because I didn't get your name till 2 days ago. So, and then I went and misspelled it when I put it on my Facebook thing. So there you go. But I guess I would have to say, what is in the works now with you? What are you working on?
Oh, okay. Well, so I've written the Worse Than Dead and Less Than Dead are the first two in the series, and it's intended to be a trilogy. So I'm working on finishing up More Than Dead, which is the last of that particular series. I was hoping to be done by this summer, but it's just taken me a little longer to get through it. So I'm hoping now to be done by the end of this year and have it out have it edited, and all that stuff and out the first of next year. And then beyond that, I've got a couple of things that I love zombies and I love the undead, but I've been writing about them now for about 5 years, and I'm ready to move on to something different. So I've got some other ideas for some different monsters that I think people will enjoy, hopefully.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, as a author myself, what advice would you give me as to getting myself out there and getting some fans?
That's difficult, and honestly, it just takes time and it takes a lot of engagement, and that's actually for an independent author. that's to me the hardest part, because you have a limited amount of time, because most of us are also working regular jobs, and we have families and so forth. So we have a very limited amount of time, and in that limited amount of time, you can either write, which is creating product, or you can market. And you
Right.
can't do both at the same time. Uh, but you have to build the fan base. You have to get out there into the forums, on Facebook and on Instagram and all those places, and you have to interact with people, and not in a salesman-y way. Obviously, you can't go out constantly pushing your book, but you kind of make friends, and you do things like this, and you're kind enough to have Jack invite us onto his show, and do this sorts of thing to connect with fans or people that enjoy that genre, to try to hopefully build some rapport and build some friendships and people that'll read your books and say good things about them, or not. I'm open. I get all kinds of praise and criticism, and I appreciate both. I take whatever folks say and consider how I can use things, improve my writing going forward based on what people think of the books.
Hey, and
So
comment on what you write is valuable. It's those trollers, the ones that go out there just to be mean, You ignore those. But someone who generally gives you like honest feedback, hell yeah,
yeah.
give me that.
Yeah. And that's totally fair. I mean, if you've written something, to me, I try to make everything make sense. So if I've written something and somebody says, well, wait, this person did this thing back here, and now you're having them do this, and that doesn't line up, they're like, okay, well, let me fix that. Let me not do that again.
Yep.
So, but I did there in, if you've just read the Worse Than Dead, Jenny, you might remember there's a couple of characters in there that are kind of hippies. And I got one person wrote me a long criticism that they hated hippies, and so they hated the book because the hippies were in the book. So I thought, well, at
Oh,
least
and I liked the little women, old ladies. I liked it.
Oh
I
my
love the
God.
Baldwins. Those are two of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
And that means there's absolutely no chance that they will check out Zombie Fallout, or not Zombie Fallout, After Z books 3 and 4, because I'm Jack, the hippie wrangler. I've literally got a crew of hippies working with me.
Right.
Ah,
Oh.
what
But
the?
obviously they had read the whole thing, so I was like, well, I'll, if you've taken the time to read the whole thing and you still have a criticism of it, at least you read the whole thing, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
There is that. All right, guys. All right. This one I'm curious about because I already know mine. It's in my head right here. You look close enough, you can see the answer. It's right there. Favorite starship? Go.
You're showing that. Gosh, that there's so many. Obviously, the Millennium Falcon, the Enterprise, um, the Nostromo actually is one of my favorite. I'm going to go with the Nostromo.
The what?
The
I don't know
Nostromo.
what that is.
What's
It's
it
the
in?
ship from Alien.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I love that ship because it was so real. The Enterprise is always so clean, neat. They obviously have a night crew that comes through and cleans everything out every day. And the Nostromo is this like gritty, industrial, greasy,
Crew that's
obviously
there. That's everybody. It's like, hey, we cleaning it.
very
Ah,
worked
fuck it,
in
we
kind
go to
of
bed.
place. Yeah. So you can really believe that the people in that ship are working on the ship.
All right, Jeannie, what's yours? What's your favorite?
Oh, my favorite ship.
The
I
one
have
you
to
would
go with
want
the
to be
Enterprise.
on, by the way. The one you would want to be on.
Oh wait, you didn't say that. I
Yeah,
would want to
I
be on
missed
the
that
show.
part. I missed
To
that
be
part.
on,
So I'm gonna come back to you. But go ahead, Jeannie.
well, it's always the Enterprise because I'm definitely a Star Trek girl. But um, I don't know that I'd want to be on any of them unless it was no. Let's go see the moon and we'll come back in a few minutes, kind of thing.
Right.
All right, we come back to you, Cal. Now that
Yeah,
you're the one you would want to be on,
yeah. Well,
what
as I said,
is the one?
I spent 22 years in the Navy, so I spent lots of time on various ships of different types with all sorts of smells and lots of lots of grease and all that stuff. If I had to be on one, I'd take the Enterprise, like I said, because it's got the cleanest, probably got the best food, and
Clean.
and
Dude,
there's a shower at the end of the night, and they have clean clothes all the time, and, so
dude,
I'll take the one.
I'm sorry, as a warehouseman, as a forklift operator, as a redneck from Tennessee, dude, I'm on the Millennium Falcon.
Well, okay, yes, okay,
Give me a half-ass shower, a little splash of water, send me down the road. Let's freaking go. We're gonna get this done. We're blowing shit up and we're taking shit.
right,
That's
right.
my
The great thing about a ship like the Falcon is it's your ship. You can go and do wherever you want. You can travel wherever. You don't have to answer to the Federation or to the company, or you just wherever you want to go to, you can take off and go.
Yeah, but you
exactamundo.
could do that on the Enterprise. You could go to the deck where you could make background whatever you wanted, and you were doing
True.
what you wanted there too.
Go down to the holodeck.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I still, okay. Bear Bryant once said so famously, "I could take my team and I could beat your team, and I could take your team and I could beat my team. I could take my Millennium Falcon and whoop the living crap out of your Enterprise." I'm just putting that out. Just, just saying. Just
Yeah.
putting it out there. Like that
And I would
thing.
just say I would
That
make Scotty beam me somewhere. Beam
There
me
you go.
somewhere else.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
But no,
And
I love the whole what the Millennium Falcon is. Like it's got all that storage space, and yet it has all that firepower, and it has a freaking satellite. It's got a satellite.
you can get Netflix on the satellite dish. That thing.
Yes, we can watch Netflix from the freaking Falcon. Oh no, that thing wins 100% out of all of them. No,
Right.
we're done. So now,
Right.
moving on to the next thing. Do y'all really think it's fair that the red shirt always gets killed?
Actually, that's not true. The statistically more of the gold shirts die than the red shirts in the old Star Trek. So it's a myth that the red shirts always die.
That's why I brought it up. I was waiting to see if we got it, and we did. It is a myth. The red shirts are not always the ones that get killed because it is the golds that go down the most. Because
Right.
they are now. What is their rank? Does anybody know what the gold shirt rank is?
So if I recall from my old Star Trek technical manual from that I had when I was in elementary school, the gold is command, the blue is science, the red is security and engineering, or what back in the original series. And so the color of the shirt designates your department that you work in, similar to like if you're on an aircraft carrier and you're working on the deck. Everybody on the deck of an aircraft carrier has a different color shirt to designate what their job is. And then the bars on their sleeves are what gives them their rank, if you will.
Right.
And that's actually something that always bothered me about the old Star Trek, is that everybody's an officer. There's no enlisted guys on that ship, and until you get to the next generation, and they have one chief. The Chief O'Brien is the transporter operator. So it's kind of the nod to enlisted guys. But if you know anything about the military, the military is run by the enlisted guys. The officers just are important, but they don't do the operation of the ship. So I've always wondered where the enlisted guys were on Star Trek.
In the middle of nowhere.
I think we lost Jack.
No, I'm still here. I'm still
Oh,
here.
okay.
I'm still here. I was just listening. I was getting caught up
Gotcha.
in what you were saying. I was like, okay, yeah, he's talking about this.
Yeah, and
Okay,
so
my
and
brain just
that's
got
something
blown.
that bothers me about a lot of science fiction, is especially if they throw in that kind of military structure, and then they want everybody to be an officer. It's the structure just doesn't work. You got to have somebody to do the hard work.
All right, Jeannie, how do you feel about it? And if you don't shut up, by the way, I'm stepping away just for a second. Say, if you don't shut up, you asshole. I've got a cat screaming in my ear.
Oh
Right?
gosh.
Yeah. And now he's looking at the wall like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
There it is. Fuck. Shut up. Anywho. So,
I
Jeannie,
don't think I can say any more about the red shirts than he did. I mean, he even told us what rank they were.
That shows you what a geek I was in elementary school.
yeah, you see, now, Jeannie,
And then
now,
the fact that you could remember it.
Jeannie, now you're seeing what world I'm dragging you into. Like, you're about
I'm
to go
getting kind
deep.
of scared.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go deep, huh?
it's about to get deep. Like
I
deep.
guess I'm gonna have to be binge worthy of all sci-fi for a while.
Mm-hmm. Learn to hold your breath, because I'm about to drag you into some wild stuff out here.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you guys this. So, seriously, what is something you would like to see that's completely your own? Uh, but, dude, seriously, shut up. Um, really, shut up. Um, the, I'm gonna kill my cat. That you would like to see done in sci-fi that hasn't been done so far? Something you hadn't seen that you would like to see done in sci-fi.
It's funny because in recent years, there's not, to my mind anyway, the current sort of generation of science fiction is not it's not looking that far ahead. I mean, the old, you used to see shows and they'd say, well, this is 100 years from now, or this is 1,000 years from now, or whatever. A lot of what we see now is things that are kind of pushing a social agenda, instead of like saying, well, this is what things might look like in 100 years or 1,000 years, or so that's kind of been disappointing to me about the people that are actually getting big productions done and that sort of thing. um, I would like to see more of that. I would like to see more futurism. Like what if we take these ideas like AI and and current technology and expand that out 100 years? What might that look like? How do we get there from here? And what does it look like when we get there?
Yeah, it might be too scary though for them to
Well, I
actually
think
do.
you're right. I mean, if you took a person from 100 years ago and brought them to today, they would probably freak out quite a bit. So I
Yes.
agree. It would
Yeah.
be an odd thing to show people what it might look like. But I think that's the purpose of science fiction, is to say what is the technology of the future, and how do we as humanity interact with that? How do we react to it? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be a little bit of both? What are the trade-offs, of having all this new technology and these new things, and what are we willing to trade as humans, once we get there?
True.
Yeah.
Very damn true. Now,
Yes.
Gene, let me ask you this. If you could create your own space station, like you literally got just one spot, you ain't got a universe, you ain't got a large area to work, you've got a spot. What would you put in that spot?
The first thing that came to mind is a food synthesizer because, you got to have food. That's the
Yeah.
first thing on my mind all the time.
Oh, yeah.
um Probably something where they would be able to train. That's kind of what I would think of, where they would learn to do combat and learn to shoot and all those things up in space. To me, that's what I would want at my little space station. A bunch of fighters and eaters.
Fighters and eaters, man, I am down with it. All right, Cal, how about you?
I sort of see the function of a space station as being a kind of a interstellar truck stop. I sort of see it as a place where, a transitional place where your ships would pull in and get refueled and refurbished and resupplied and get a little bit of liberty call for the sailors and then head off in multiple directions. So
I totally just caught what you meant by liberty for, and yeah,
because
okay.
it's the first thing a sailor wants to do when he gets off a ship is go to the library or go down and see a
He
see a
want to read
movie.
that. He want to read that book, boy. He want to read it. He want to read it real good.
Go see a museum or something like that. So that's what I really see space stations. The function of space stations is to be a transitional step or a place that you can jump off of to go somewhere else.
Okay, I can work with that. I can work with that. All right, now let me ask you this. And by the way, y'all are helping me write my next book. So, your villain. What would be the ultimate, the most vile, intergalactic science fiction villain of all time? What would be the thing that they would use to fuck with us right now? Not later, not back in the past, not in the future,
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to go ladies first.
Well, you have your cyber stuff, so I would think they would have us be attacked by the cyber stuff, attack our bank accounts, attack our lifestyle. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what everybody fears, I think, the most in all of this
Yeah.
AI stuff.
Okay, what would their goal be? What are they trying to
Take over the world. What's wrong with you? Money and power.
Well, God, we already know what's wrong with me. I'm crazy. But my thing is, would they be trying to implant a new government? And what would that government look like?
Ooh.
Oh,
We don't want to know what that government would look like. Yeah, it would pretty much be a dictatorship.
mm-hmm. All right, Mr. Calbrett. Same thing. Coming at you. Have fun.
My greatest fear as far as like an external, an extraterrestrial invasion would be more along the lines of like Starship Troopers, where you've got some sort of insectoid, mass group of insect like things where there's millions of them, too many to fight off at one time, and they just overwhelm you. I think that would be my greatest fear with something like that. And there's been a couple of examples of that, like Starship Troopers, where they just go from planet to planet, basically like locusts, eating everything on the planet and then going to the next one. That to me is the scariest.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. And I love both of you guys' answers. All right, so I'm going to ask the most important question of all time. Is Jaws the greatest movie ever? Jenny?
Oh, most definitely. Jaws is way up there, number one, but I have to say I like Piranha too.
Good one. All right, Cal.
Well, I love Jaws too. That came out in '76, the year before Star Trek or Star Wars, and that was one of the foundational movies in my youth. So I think the beauty of Jaws was because it was done by Spielberg at a time when he was, doing so much work, and he cinematographically, I'm not sure what the right word is, but basically as a director, he was able to use all these different techniques from different previous directors. He uses that, that scene where you zoom in and pan out of Chief who was the chief? Chief Brody, and that famous scene where the camera zooms in as it moves back. I mean, that's straight out of Hitchcock, and the lighting and the framing of that film really takes a lot of different great directors' techniques and puts them together into a great monster movie. Where you don't see the shark that often in that movie. The whole point of that is to not see it, and that's part of the beauty of it, is how scary that film is. So it is one of the greats for sure.
Okay, see, I'm going to completely break off of this thread that we're on right now. And Jeannie, welcome to my world where you bring people onto your show that are so fucking smart. They know so much shit. They have studied like everything and they know it all. And all you can do is sit back and go and nod your head because they're so freaking good at this. They know what they're talking about, and you just go, "Yep, we're good," and you just let them run. Cal Brett is one of those people. You just bring him on, you just let him run, and he's got it. We're
You
out
might have
here.
to double check me on some of this stuff, Jack.
All right, well, I'm gonna throw another random ass question out there just for the hell of it.
Well, I have a
Um,
question before you go
oh shit,
on to
no,
the
no
next.
shit, you go, you.
On okay. I see all these things on social media about people going and watching Jaws in the water on a floaty. Is that something that would interest y'all? Do you think you would want to do something like that? I don't know that I could. I think it would freak me out.
Yeah, fuck no.
I'll tell you what, in 1976, after Jaws came out, I wouldn't even get in the pool for the whole summer.
Mm, mm, no, no, fuck that.
Maybe now, many years later, I could do it.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I'm afraid of water in the first place. I take a shower reluctantly. Like, I don't even like being wet. Like, get the hell off me with the water. No. No, I'm probably dirty right now. I don't even know it. I don't care. Fuck water. Water sucks. Water has sharks. But yeah, that
60% of the earth is water. So watch
mm,
out. Which is, to talk about a science fiction and a horror movie, which is the great problem with the movie Signs. The alien race, it turns out, that comes to the Earth in Signs is supposedly allergic to water, and you think, well, why would you come to a planet that's almost 70% water if you're allergic to the
and I
substance?
just learned recently that that's actually a thing. That people can be allergic to water. Like if they get water splashed on them, they will get rashes.
Really?
It's like a real thing. And
Be hard.
I just heard that. Google it for those of you that are doubting me right now. Fucking Google it. It's a real thing. People can be allergic to water, but they can still apparently drink it, which I find weird. Doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to me. It is what it is. Hey, you
Yeah.
can, you can't. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, since the human body is also 60% water, I think it is that would be a hard condition to have.
Yeah, but yeah, this person is literally allergic to water, and that is the strangest thing to me.
Yeah.
But something else I find strange. Why do you people scientifically, I'm gonna make it fortunate, why do you people find the sweetness of pineapple planted on a spicy slice of pizza be
Uh,
okay? I mean, seriously. You can't scientifically make this make sense to me. Over
What
here,
my in-laws, and my wife is Italian, and my in-laws are all like straight up full blood Italian, so that's not allowed in our house.
already got first vote. But seriously, how do you scientifically make that make sense? I have literally taken a bite. I've done it. I've bitten it. I've chewed it. I've swallowed it. No, that makes no sense whatsoever in my mind.
No.
Why? That's something that an alien race that one of us would have created for a science fiction novel would have created. It should not be something that exists in our real world. Not a thing. You're
Well,
not happy.
there's your book.
I support each person to their own thing, but we're not going to be ordering any pineapple pizza at my house.
Here either.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying. I want to help. I want to help the world. I want to make the world a better place. Just trying to help. But okay. I so. All right. Next question. If you could bring a character from another story, any story from any time frame, into one of yours and use them as a main, not just a background, not just a cameo, a main. Who would that be? Starting with Jenny.
I knew you were going to do that. Starting with Jeannie.
Ladies first.
Who would I want to? Xena, the warrior princess.
Really? Now,
That
why?
would be fun.
Why in the hell would you pick
Why
Xena Warrior?
not? The
I mean,
question is, why not? I mean, she is badass. She could whoop your butt.
Yeah, hell, he could whoop my butt. All right, so her weapon, what's it, like a ring thing, like a
Yeah, she'd throw it and it would come
certain
back.
thing, and it comes back like a boomerang and whatnot? That'd be okay. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
She just take your head off.
Okay, okay, we're slicing and dicing. That works. All right, hey Cal, what's yours?
I think for me it would have to be Sherlock Holmes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
these
And
are
actually
totally
I have
different answers. Y'all realize this? These are totally different answers.
yes. And I think Sherlock's in the public domain, so we actually could use him for something going in the future if we wanted to. Actually, I wrote a thing for a short story collection a couple of years ago with using Sherlock Holmes in a Cthulhu-esque type environment.
Ooh.
Sweet. See, and I
So
like the Cthulhu thing because honestly, I got hooked on Samuel Taylor Coleridge a long time ago, with his Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. And that got me into that mythos and all the things that went along with it, which got me into we call it Cthulhu. And that is some of the most badass stuff. It's just a matter of how you use it. And
right.
you're planning on doing what with it?
There's actually John Linwood Grant is a British author, and he does anthologies and so forth. He does a regular anthology of Sherlock Holmes and meets Cthulhu type characters, and I wrote something for one of those a couple of years ago. But he does it every year. You basically the best stories of Sherlock Holmes investigating the dark, deep ones and the dark gods. So
Oh, crap.
worth checking out.
I was gonna say, holy shit. All right, Jeannie, what do you think about this? Is this man out of his mind?
No, I think he's a whole nother level above you and me, though, Jack.
How about all that?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I knew this was gonna be a fun interview. I just knew it from the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
right off the rip. All right, so I'm gonna throw one more out there. I don't even know how long we've gone right now. We could have passed an hour. I have no fucking clue. Don't even care. All right, so if you have a character, your main guy in a brand new, fresh story, because you've already written stories, so forget them, they don't matter. Brand new, fresh story. Give me a favorite food for that.
Hmm.
I
Can't go
love
with
I got them both froze.
I
I,
don't
I
know.
know.
they froze. They both froze. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, uh, the food depends on the time and the character and the genre. And if you're
I
in
mean, come
Blade
on,
Runner,
dude.
it's gonna be
Deadpool is chimichangas. You know.
yeah, yeah. Uh, if you're in Blade Runner, it's gonna be a Chinese food. If you're in Deadpool, it's gonna be chimichangas. If you're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's gonna be pizza. So depends on.
So if it's freaking Cal Brett, what's it gonna be? If it's Jeannie Friedrich Lewis, what's it gonna be? What is your main character's favorite food?
Oh, and
Beignets.
what did you say, Jenny? Beignets?
Be- Beignets.
Wow.
Wow.
Didn't see that coming.
Well, no.
I hadn't really thought of it. The most of the characters are in my books are desperate to survive, so they'll take anything that goes. Mostly MREs and anything they can find.
All right, what's your favorite MRE?
I really, when I was out in the field, I used to like the roasted beef stew. That was good
Nice.
with some Tabasco. Roasted beef stew with some Tabasco in it.
Oh, they actually gave you Tabasco out there in the field?
No, we took it brought it ourselves.
Out there rolling
Everybody,
around, I got a jar, man. We're good. We're good.
all those pockets that you have on the BDUs, one of them's got a bottle of Tabasco in it.
Oh my God. This isn't it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I love doing these shows because I get to meet people on the real, the living person. These people are both amazing authors. They're out there putting out works, but they're also real people. They've done real shit. They've lived life. And oh my God, I'm just so thankful to get to hang with them.
And Jack, I apologize, but I'm gonna have to go. I've got somewhere to be in about 20 minutes. But
Well, yeah, we actually need to end the show now because we've been going for quite a long time. So we're gonna do it like we
I really
always do it.
enjoyed it. I appreciate the invitation today.
Well, we're gonna do it like we always do it. Mr. Author Superman, the one and only the guy, the man. I'm gonna call you by your own damn name. Like, maybe. Where can everybody find you?
I am Cal Brett, and I'm on Amazon. You can just look up Cal Brett on Amazon or Google Cal Brett, and I'm also on Facebook and Instagram under I think Cal_Brett is the way to find my author page. And of course, the books are Worse Than Dead and Less Than Dead, and I'd really appreciate anybody go out and check them out, download them. They're available on Kindle Unlimited, Kindle, and paperback. So give it a try and let me know what you think.
Damn Skippy. All right, Miss Thang up there in the corner hanging out. Where can everybody find you and your book? You put out, even though you didn't plan on putting out a book, but there it is.
Well, it's under Jeannie F. Lewis on Facebook. My author page is under the same thing. The book is actually Zephyr Elaine, the Zombie Killer. And if you type in Jeannie Loves Zombies, it will take you to my site.
Well, guys, you can find my goofy little story about my hairless cat, even though he's not actually hairless, on Amazon, on Word Peddler magazine, which is a fantastic magazine that's always hyping the underappreciated authors, trying to get them out there, trying to get them some hype. Let's get emotion going behind that. Let's get something going there. Word Peddler to the end. But yeah, you can find me there. Well, guys, I have had a blast hanging out with my man Cal, my new co-host, freshly framed. You're up there. You're up there. You're literally on my wall right now, woman. Literally. Oh my God, Jenny Frederick Lewis. We are just out here just having fun, doing our thing. It's tripping through the stars. I thank everybody for showing up today. Thank you guys for showing up to be with me.
Nice to meet you, Jenny.
Peace to
You
the
too. Very nice to meet you. Thank
Take care,
y'all.
folks. Thanks.
bye.
Bye.